Hey everyone, this video is going to be a little bit different, all right? We're going to go through some sets of questions to get you thinking about your business, your current situation, your business, how you can get better, where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, and just to kind of self-reflect. I call these business diagnostic questions. It's something that I've been writing down for the past few months and asking agents who are needing some mentorship, right? So they're meant to be self-reflective and it's to gather information, kind of like how we ask discovery questions on our calls. It's my discovery questions to agents to figure out where they are in the business, if they're on the right path, if they're working the right leads, if they're doing the right things. Okay, and to kind of reset their mindset a little bit with some of these questions and really understand the opportunity and to understand where they are in the business. And so I'll go through these questions and hopefully you guys can answer them for yourselves. And if you can be really open and honest and even write some of these answers down, it can really help. It's helped a lot of agents that I've spoken with. And yeah, these are just questions that are, some of them are challenging. Some of them are pretty basic, but even the basic ones, some veteran agents couldn't really answer. So it's something where, it tells me a lot about where an agent is in the business. Okay. I'm going to start with a really basic question here around, business strategy. So the questions are based around business strategy, like their path in the business, and like what kind of support you're getting, like emotional support and all that you're getting. And I'll tie it all together. Okay. So the first question we have here, it's meant more for newer agents. Okay. But I'd like to know if you can answer this question. Can you describe the market opportunity that final expense telesales brings us? Okay. So think about that. Let me talk about the market first, because first, when I ask agents, do you understand who the market is in final expense? A lot of them will say, low income seniors on a fixed income, something along those lines. Okay. But it's not just seniors. We have pre-retirees, we have retirees, and we have seniors. Okay. Pre-retirees are ages 50 to 65, in that range. And if you call a pre-retiree a senior or you treat them like a senior, that may be an issue. Okay. We also work with retirees, people just retiring, and then seniors on a fixed income. Okay. Now, most everyone is on a fixed income with final expense. I get that. But, I find a lot of people generating their own leads. They'll be attention seniors, right? And they're totally excluding the younger people. Okay. So first you have to understand the market and that not everyone is a low income, fixed income senior. You have some people who have money who are still working that are buying bigger policies. Okay. So understand that, but let's talk about the market opportunity, right? The first question, can you describe the market opportunity that the final expense telesales business brings? Now, we've all seen the stat, right? Over 11,000 seniors turning 65 every single day, and it'll be this way until the year 2030, right? And all of these seniors have a guaranteed income in Social Security benefits, right? So think about that, guys. We're fishing in a pond where it's being stocked with fish every single day. More fish, right? There's a lot of opportunity out there compared to other industries. The pond that we're fishing in is a very, very stocked pond. And it's, our product is meant for low income seniors on a fixed income. And this is where a lot of these, and we're finding a lot of them out there. Okay, guys, this should get you excited, right? We have, for the next 6 years, it's a freaking gold rush. All right. That's why final expense telesales has taken off. As soon as people think the market's too small, there's too many people in final expense, lead saturation, this and that. You just have to remind yourself, all these people that are coming into the market every single day that are now looking for final expense life insurance or thinking about those, what happens after they pass. Okay. They're thinking about their family. They're starting to have those thoughts and we're here to help them through that. Okay. Does that get you excited? Okay. That's the first question. Second question. What is your best marketing channel and why? Okay. Do you fully believe this is the best lead for you? And can you clearly explain why the lead that you're working right now is the best lead for you? This usually gets agents to pause for a moment, right? because they may have not worked other leads before, but it's something where they need to realize, is this lead suited for them? So we can put it into two buckets, right? Outbound and inbound to start, right? If you're outbound, are you making the required dials? Do you have call reluctance? Do you have the schedule to be able to make all those dials? Okay. If it's inbound, right? Are you able to take enough calls? Can you afford to take enough calls? Some outbound agents should be inbound, some inbound agents should be outbound, and they, and they don't know it. So you have to reflect on that. Is this the best marketing channel for you? Think about your strengths and your weaknesses. Is this the best marketing channel for you? Okay. All right. So then if you're outbound and you're outbound, great. Is it the best lead for you? Should it be Facebook? Should it be missed TV calls? Should it be TikTok, Google, YouTube, whatever it is, right? If it's inbound, should it be TV? Should it be web? Should it be live transfers? Okay. So you have to really think to yourself, is this the best marketing channel for you? And clearly explain why it is. And just by doing that, if you can clearly explain why, the benefit of doing that is you will have tunnel vision and make the lead that you're working right now work. And you won't be distracted by all the other lead types that are being generated out there and think, oh, maybe I could do a little bit better over there, right? And it's just a waste of time. It's a distraction. Focus on a lead and master that lead. But the first thing you need to understand, is this for you? Based on your strengths and weaknesses, is this the best lead for you? Make that decision. And if you can clearly explain why it's the best lead, you have it inside of yourself, it is, and you won't find yourself distracted anywhere else, okay? Next question. What does it cost to acquire a new client? And is it at least 2-to-1 on commissions coming in from that cost to acquire a client? So let me explain. Cost to acquire a client. First of all, let me ask you that. Do you know your cost to acquire a client last month? Right now it's June. So last month in May, do you know your cost to acquire a client? If you don't, that's an issue. You have to be tracking that, okay? So in all of May, everything that you spent on leads, okay? That's one number. And then how many clients you placed in force. I don't care if it was from leads from previous months or whatever. How much you spent last month, how many clients you placed that month, and then that is your cost to acquire a client. All right. Now, is that number at least double? So all the money that you put into leads, is that money coming in commissions at least double what you spent? If it is, guys, you are in a good spot. I went over this on our ROI is misunderstood video a few weeks ago, but 2-to-1 on money going out and money coming in is good. It's healthy. You can turn that into 2.5 to 3 to 4 over time. Okay. But that is workable. That means if you spent $4,000 in leads and you received $8,000, so you made $4,000. Okay. But you also have the months 10, 11, 12 on a 9-month advance coming in. You have, the renewals, you have a lot of other commissions coming in, right? So upfront money, if you can make that work 2-to-1, any business in America would be ecstatic with that. If most businesses, restaurants, anything out there would be ecstatic with 2-to-1 ROI. If they knew they could spend $4,000, they'd spend $20,000, right? 50,000, 100,000, if they knew they were going to double that, and they can keep increasing that. So I say that because a lot of agents are seeing, it needs to be 3, 4, 5-to-1, but they're doing that off of sales made. Okay. And not off of money going out and money coming in. ROI should be based on that. Okay. And if you are there, just know that that's healthy and you can turn that up over time. Okay. So what does it cost to acquire a new client? If you don't know that right off the top of your head, like if it doesn't, if you can't just rattle that off, then there's a problem in your business there. You need to keep track of that, and you need to keep track of it over time. So what it was in May, what it's going to be this month, the following month, and hopefully you can see that number come down. Okay. Some of you are going to calculate this and be absolutely disgusted. This business doesn't work. How am I even making money doing this? But that should, light a fire under you. Okay. To get that number down, it should gamify it for you to get that number down every single month. Okay. So always know what it costs to acquire a client and make sure it's a 2-to-1 ratio of commissions coming in. All right. Next question. I love this question, and it throws agents off guard. Okay. What does it take in energy to acquire new clients? All right. So if you're outbound, does call reluctance get most of your energy reserves? Okay. If you're inbound, does, paying for a lead give you some sort of anxiety when you're on the phone with somebody because it's going to cost you this amount of money? You put all this pressure on yourself. All right. What does it cost? What does it take in energy to acquire a new client? Because some of you guys are going home after your day, and because you have experienced so much call reluctance, you have all this self-talk in your head. Same thing on inbound. You have all this self-talk, all this anxiety. It just drains you. And you come home without any energy for your families. Okay. That is not good. That is not healthy. It's a recipe for disaster. So you have to calculate that into your situation. What kind of energy draw does this take from you by working these leads? If you're outbound and you're only making, you're not making enough dials, is it because of the call reluctance and everything? If you are doing the activity, you're doing well, but you're a zombie at home, right? It's not worth it. Okay. Some outbound people should be on inbound. Some inbound people should be on outbound based on, really it's based on the self-talk in their heads. All right. A lot of us need to be in therapy. I say this all the time to work through that stuff, but you have to factor in what does it take in energy to acquire a new client? All right. Next question. What do you think a 10 out of 10 skill level agent could do with your business? Your business, the leads you have access to, the sales training, the support, the community, the, outside factors, right? What you have access to, your access to capital, right? What could a 10 out of 10 skill level agent do with your business? Does that get you excited, right? If you consider yourself a 5 out of 10 skill level, what does it take to get to 10 out of 10 skill level? Guys, in 6 to 9 months, you can be at a 10 out of 10 skill level if you wanted to. Mastering a sales process, right? Building rapport, overcoming objections, really understanding this market. If you're having these conversations every day, 6 to 9 months into the business, you can be a master skilled final expense telesales agent and have incredible numbers. But you have to be motivated to get there, right? And so what would a 10 out of 10 skill level agent, what could they do with your business, with what you have access to? That should be exciting to you and get you to that point. Okay. Now, these next questions are more kind of for the in the trenches sort of help that I'm trying to support agents with. So this one's more around cash flow. A lot of agents have troubles with cash flow. Okay. We're not really taught that in school. It's brand new for agents to spend this amount of money in order to make money. So I always ask, describe the current bottleneck in your business, right? Are there systems that, if moved at a higher velocity or cadence, that would improve your cash flow? So think about it. A lot of agents come to us and say that, I don't have any more money for leads. Really, they're just too scared to spend their money for leads because they don't have the confidence yet. But, they may be out of money for leads. And we ask them, are there systems that, if moved at a higher velocity or more frequent cadence, that could improve your cash flow? Okay. So if they have a batch of leads that they purchase, number one, how many times do they call them? That's easy stuff there. But also, what about people who said they're not interested? Most people just let those go. Guys, there's agencies out there who recycle people who say they're not interested and have different agents call them, or have the same agent call them a few weeks later and a few weeks after that, and then again right before it ages out. And they make sales on those all the time, because you have to remember the intent levels there on that phone call. It might have been a bad time for them, right? Or you just didn't connect, or they didn't get the information they needed from you. And maybe this next time you will be able to do that. Okay. Guys, call your not interested leads. If you're, and that's a system that you need to implement, right? And call them more frequently. If you don't have that implemented. Same thing with your lapses. If you had some policies lapse, even if you've only sold a few policies, you had one lapse, make sure you're calling them just to get in the habit of doing that. All right. Make sure you're calling the pending lapses, the ones that are about to lapse. Make sure you're calling the uncontacted leads, the people who who, if you're outbound lead and you never got in contact with them, try them again after you tried them the first few weeks. Keep them in your call queues, have systems and put them at a higher velocity or cadence to contact them. That's what you need to do to improve your cash flow. It's all activity, it's all systems, but that's what needs to happen. Most bottlenecks in the business can be solved with systems that if you moved at a higher velocity or more frequent cadence, it would solve a lot of things. But a lot of agents just don't want to do those things. They just want to buy new leads and try and work that, and then not service their business, not go back to the people who said they're not interested. Those are fine leads. Okay. We would pay money for those people who said they weren't interested. Okay. There's value there. Okay. So describe your current bottleneck in your business. Are there systems that, if moved at a higher velocity or more frequent cadence, that would improve your cash flow? Next question. Do you have the right data to understand what to do next? Okay. Most agents don't have that data. You have to keep track of your sales percentage, your placement rate, your mix of business. Okay. We find a lot of agents that come to us and we see like their sales rate's great. Why aren't they making any money? Why are they coming to us where they don't have money to spend on leads? Oh, their placement rate. Okay. Their placement rate's really low. Okay. What if their placement rate's good? Okay. Their mix of business. All right. They're selling half of their policies are graded or guaranteed issue. It's a field underwriting issue, and that affects your profitability. Okay. So you need to have the data in order to understand what to do next. The next thing you should do is improve your biggest weakness. You don't know your biggest weakness unless you understand the data. If it's sales percentage, you need to work on your sales process. If it's placement, it's sales process, right? And a little bit of service. And then mix of business is field underwriting, right? You have to focus to bring those ones up. If you're going out there without any data, you're just trying to be better, right? You're getting on these training calls, but you don't know where you are. You're just, there's no clear path for you. You're getting a little bit better at these different things, right? But you need to focus on getting better at one thing at a time, and then work on the next thing once you fix that piece of your business. And you can't do that unless you have the right data to do that, okay? So I'll ask it again. Do you have the right data to understand what to do next to improve your business? All right. The next question is, what is the one phone call you need to make right now? This very moment. Who is the one person you need to call right now that could affect your business? It could be a client, it could be a prospect, it could be an insurance company for a case you're working on, it could be your upline, or it could be a potential referral source, or someone that that could help your business. It could be a potential mentor. It could be a potential referral source. It could be just the next, like you're making your first dial of the day. That's the next phone call you need to make, right? But make it right now, like right now. I have this in my phone. I have a Notion.so. It's a note-taking app basically. And I have a to-do list every single day. And that one is pinned on my to-do list. What is the one phone call you need to make right now? And I make it right now to whatever it is to help improve or grow the business. Okay. That's important for business growth. It makes you take action, right? Every single day, you're going to make a call to somebody who, it's not in your call queue because you're going to call those people anyway, but who else can you call? All right. So I always put that, in my to-do list, and it's a great thing to do for you guys as well. All right. So emotional. These are emotional questions here. And it's really important, guys. Controlling your emotions in this business is everything, right? We're stressed, we're frustrated, like we get hung up on, we get cursed at, we have dropped calls, we have bogus leads, whatever it is. Okay. Guys, do you have people you can speak with on a weekly basis that are supporting you? Okay. It could be a spouse, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, whatever. But is it somebody where you can talk to on a weekly basis to understand where you are in the business? They can celebrate your wins with you. They can help you through some hard times. They can help you keep you motivated, right? having that support system is everything. I find a lot of agents, when I ask this question, they don't have that. Yes, they'll talk about their business sometimes with their spouse, right? But it's not something that's consistent. It's just kind of here and there, right? Where in this instance, like if you can speak with somebody at least once a week, hey, somebody to check in with you, how's it going? What, talk through a lot of the stuff in your business. It feels like you're on a mission together, right? And you have somebody supporting you. You don't want to let them down, and it'll keep you motivated too, right? Because if it's a good friend or family member, they're going to call you on your BS. Well, did you make enough calls? Okay, well, that person who hung up on you, what did you say to them? Could you have said something else? They don't need to understand the business. If you can just talk about the business with somebody, feel like you're part of a team, you have some supporting people. It's really important in this business to have that. All right. Next question is, and a lot of agents kind of laugh at this question. How would your rate of enthusiasm for your business in the past 90 days be on a scale of 1 to 10? How would you rate your enthusiasm? Okay. And what would it take to increase that? This is important, guys. How you view the business. If you have a negative view of the business right now, you don't have enough leads, nobody's answering the phone, whatever it is, and that's in your head, that is a path out of the business. You have to keep your enthusiasm up. What would it take to increase your enthusiasm? Some agents will say, I just need to make a couple sales to get back into it, or whatever the answer is. But you have to recognize that your enthusiasm in the business has a direct effect on the business. If you're in a negative mindset and you're coming in the business, you're not doing the activity you need to do, you have this really bad self-talk that's talking you out of things, you're getting really irritated easily, and that is not a good recipe for this business, okay? So think about that. Next question is, what are you most excited about learning or improving in your personal skill sets? Okay? So it's not about using data to figure out what you should do next, but what gets you excited about learning? Like, what is it that you want to learn, and what's stopping you from doing that? Okay. Like if it's marketing, you want to learn how to generate leads. Why don't you take 30 minutes a day and learn how to generate leads? And by doing that, you'll actually look forward. You'll be happier. You'll feel like you're doing something you want to do, right? And you're making strides in your business. It could be learning the sales process, overcoming objections. It could be, just being more motivated, overcoming call reluctance, whatever that is. But work on that. Work on those aspects of yourself and building those skill sets up, or whatever it is. Okay, and you'll be happier in the business, right? It'll change a little bit because, as you're cranking through all your calls or taking the calls, grinding out your day, you're able to do something you get really excited about. That helps change your mindset a little bit. Okay. So the question was, what are you most excited about learning or improving in your personal skill sets, right? That will help your business. Okay. Last question here. What is your personal mission? Okay. So guys, there's no wrong answer here. Is it to build a business, to live a more flexible and richer lifestyle where you can travel? Like we have agents in Colombia, we have agents in Spain and Thailand, and I'm in the south of France right now. And there's just, people appreciate the independent lifestyle, being flexible, and the geo arbitrage, right? Working in countries that are super cheap to live, to eat, and all that, and making US dollars over there that go a really long way, right? We have a good set of those agents out there. We also have agents that, I heard from an agent this a few weeks ago that he retired his spouse. Like that was his why, and he did it. And he told me that he retired his spouse. She doesn't have to work anymore. How amazing is that? I mean, that was his mission. He's been doing this business for 6 or 7 years, and he retired his spouse. Pretty freaking awesome. So, that could be your personal mission. It could be just to, it could be to invest in your first home or a second home, and, build some sort of investment portfolio or whatever it may be. Guys, there's no wrong answer here. Okay. But having your mission in mind And being reminded of it every single day is really important. So whether you need to take a post-it note, if your why, right? What is your personal mission? Another way to say that is, what is your why? Okay. If it's to provide for your family a life that you guys can be whatever it takes to make you happy, if that's it, you have a picture of your family on your monitor, small picture on the monitor, or it might be a reminder on your calendar to, I have reminders set on my phone, like my alarm that gets me up in the morning. It has an affirmation, something that I work on with myself, that I recognize a weakness in, right? That I need to get right with my mindset. I have alarm throughout the day, like right when calls start for me. I'm in France. I'm in the south of France, so my calls don't start till 2:30 p.m. And I have a reminder right at 2:25 to okay, take some deep breaths. And I have this routine I go through because I've been by myself all day. I get into deep work, which is awesome. I have my mornings, nobody bothers me. I get deep work done, and then I need to transition to I'm on calls for the rest of the day, right? And but I have these reminders, and you have to set those reminders because you need to remember your why when you're going through the hard times. This business isn't perfect. You're going to have people hang up on you. You're going to have chargebacks. There's going to be tough spots in this business. And you have to remember why you're doing this. Like we said before, this is an imperfect business. If you just keep pushing through, it's an incredible business. And, and having your why really helps to center you in this all. It helps to get through those hard times, to keep making that extra effort and keep pushing forward and keeping consistent with everything you need to do. Okay. The worst thing you can do is start and stop. And this question, like, what is your personal mission? This should be the thing that keeps you consistent. If it doesn't keep you consistent, you have a very weak why. Okay. And it's hard for me to say that to people. And I don't say it to everyone because it's very hard to say that. If somebody's not consistent, I ask them their why, and they need to think about that. And if it doesn't move them to stay consistent, then their why is weak. They don't really believe that. Okay. Because you would do anything when you're on a personal mission here, if you have a strong enough why. Okay. So make sure you remind yourself of that. You have it somewhere that reminds you, whether it's an alarm, an alert on your calendar, on your computer, a picture on your desk, something on your wall, whatever it is that can remind you. All right. This is all really important stuff. The emotional stuff, like this is where, to me, it's the foundation of it all. Your support system, how your attitude towards the business, your why. Okay. That's the stuff that keeps you consistent, that moves all the other numbers. Okay. So that's where these questions are coming from here. Anyway, guys, I hope this helped some of you reflect on your own business, on your own situation, to get you on the right path. I suggest, you write some of this stuff down, these answers down, and reflect on it. And it's been helpful for a lot of agents, and I hope that it's helpful for you.